What is up, ladies and gentlemen, YouTube? I am Chris Mim, and I got a very special video for you today. As always, I think I got something good. Now, today is the final day. It is New Year's Eve, so therefore, we are going to end 2015 off with some pretty good videos, hopefully. Now, I said I was going to be finishing up Tarantino thing. I wrapped up all the movie reviews. If you want to check them out, go ahead, check them out, and then come back to this. But now, I'm going to be ranking all the Tarantino films. Let's get this out the way very quickly. One, I'm counting Kill Bill as 2 films because, one, I just think that it just shortchanges kind of the list a bit. Yes, I know Kill Bill is 1 movie altogether, I know that, but it is still a movie separately from the first Kill Bill. So there you go. Now, this list is pretty much going to be on kind of what's more influence and what's kind of a bit more replayable and just kind of, you know, what is actually what can stand up on its own in some way the best. In my opinion, or what's been innovative. But this is my personal list, and maybe you actually will believe in this list also. But let's get to this, and it is from 9 to 1. We're going down, obviously, as usual, and then we're going up. I'm going to be looking at my notes, so I'm not that professional, so let's start kicking this thing off. At number 9 is Kill Bill Volume 2. Why is Kill Bill Volume 2 number 9? Particularly because Kill Bill Volume 2, though it is a good movie, it does not hold up unless you are watching it particularly with Kill Bill Volume 1. As I said before in my review, it is a good film. Yes, it is a very well-made film, and there's a lot of interesting dialogue. But I think after the adrenaline rush that was Kill Bill Volume 1, seeing Kill Bill Volume 2 left a lot of people disappointed. And as I said in my review, watching Kill Bill Volume 2, nobody says, let's just throw in Kill Bill Volume 2. Either people say, let's watch both, let's just watch Kill Bill, or that is pretty much it. Nobody really, at least I haven't seen anybody that just wants to watch Kill Bill Volume 2. It's not a bad movie. None of these films are bad, but that's just where it goes. Number 8 is Death Proof. Now, I know people be like, well, why is Death Proof number 8? Particularly Death Proof is number 8. Mainly because I just think I kind of prefer what he did more here. Now, like I said, I think Death Proof stands a little bit more on its own than Kill Bill Volume 2 because it is a sequel or whatnot, but it is a very it needs to hold the hand of Kill Bill Volume 1 in order to actually walk, pretty much. Now, Death Proof, yes, Death Proof is pretty much short, to the point, but I love Death Proof. I think Death Proof captured what they were going for, the grindhouse aspect. Is it anything special? Not necessarily, but Kurt Russell's great, the car chases, the women, everything. Nice homage to the 70s film. Yes. But number 7 is The Hateful Eight. Yes, I just saw The Hateful Eight recently, and I enjoyed The Hateful Eight, but for some reason, there's something slightly off, kind of, because I rewatched it again. I was like, The Hateful Eight is slightly, like, it's a great movie. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's a bad film. I'm just saying that compared to what I've seen the first time, because once you see a movie the first time, the illusion is there. You only are in the illusion, really. Second time, the illusion is stripped away and you only see the movie as it is. If it's good, if it's bad. And I see this movie as a very well-made film, but there is a couple of flaws more that I kind of saw more in it the second time I watched it. And it's just too early to really put up in any perspectives. I need time to evaluate this thing. Number 6 is Inglourious Basterds. As I said before in my review, Inglourious Basterds is a movie that I feel like it showcased Tarantino can do more than just his typical violent type of shit. And yes, it is violent, but it is also a movie that is mostly in subtitles. And it feels like it's a period piece, and that's the first time Tarantino toyed with history. And he made a very well job at it. No, he did a fantastic job in Inglourious Basterds, but Inglourious Basterds mainly at this spot because I don't really find it that replayable. It has to be in a certain time frame, especially for Inglourious Basterds, for me to actually want to just like put it up there and just like watch it, mainly because even though I love Inglourious Basterds because Waltz is great in there, Brad Pitt doing his Popeye, and there's a lot of interesting ways to take out, you know, Nazis, but for the most part, it's not a Tarantino movie that I just want to be like, hey, let's watch Inglourious Basterds. If I'm playing Wolfenstein, as I just did, and that's why I reviewed it, then go ahead. If I'm in a Nazi killing mode, I'll watch Inglourious Basterds. But that's pretty much why. Number 6, actually not number 6, number 5 is Jackie Brown. Why is Jackie Brown number 5? Because I actually like Jackie Brown. As I said, Jackie Brown was a bit of a Tarantino's way of making a black exploitation movie. Pam Grier's fantastic in it, and I feel like Jackie Brown is a bit underrated. And I feel like it's a bit of the mixed bag, so therefore I feel like it should have fitted well in, like, right in the middle. Because it's not the greatest Tarantino movie, I don't think. But it's definitely not the worst Tarantino movie. But it's not the least best, because I wouldn't say worst for his films per se. Am I a giant Tarantino fan? Not a giant fan, but I appreciate his work as a filmmaker, and he's got good work. You can't deny he's not a good director, regardless. But Jackie Brown, I like the dialogue between the characters. I'm a fan of Pam Grier, and the cast did a great job. And it's probably his dialogue heavy film. But, he does a great job in making you, I say, be invested into these characters' conversations. Number 4 is Django. Django Unchained, everybody. Why is Django number 4? Because Django Unchained is just a badass film. It's a black exploitation film mixed with a Western film, and you mesh that shit together, and you just got the Django goodness of just like the cool factor of Jamie Foxx, with his cool lines, in this world you gotta get dirty, so that's what I'm doing. I'm getting dirty. There's a lot of great lines, and that's just one that kind of pops in my head, but Django's fantastic. DiCaprio is good as a racist, maybe too good. Waltz is fantastic. I have problems towards the end of things, as I mentioned in my review, but that doesn't take away the fact that Django's replayable. I don't really like the ending with the awkward horse dancing, but other than that, the fantastic shootout is great, but it is not my number 1. That's just me. Number 3 is Kill Bill. That's right, Kill Bill Volume 1 particularly, obviously, because Kill Bill Volume 2 is the last. But Kill Bill Volume 1 is, it is the first Tarantino movie that I saw. It's the first movie that I was like, okay, I don't know this director's work per se, but I'm interested in actually seeing what else has he done. It was a while before I actually saw any of his other movies after. It was mainly Kill Bill Volume 1 and Volume 2 was the first I saw Tarantino. I love Volume 1. I was a bit disappointed by 2, but if you mesh them together, it's a pretty good movie, but long. Kill Bill style, the badass action, that crazy 88 fight, that club scene, Orinishi, Vivica A. Fox, you got them all. Kill Bill, Uma Thurman, come on, she's better in this than another movie in this list. But number 2 is Pulp Fiction. Now people were like, what? Pulp Fiction? Yeah, mainly because I like Pulp Fiction, but for me personally, I'm not a gigantic fan of Pulp Fiction compared to his work that I've seen. I know everybody will be like, well, their favorite movie is Pulp Fiction, and that's the majority. But this majority, this guy, is I like Pulp Fiction, and I think it deserves to be number 2, mainly because it influenced the 90s just in general. And going forward, a lot of films try to, rehash and try to do the Pulp Fiction format, but it didn't work. But it's very influential. Sam Jackson, Travolta, the whole cast, Harvey Keitel, The Watch. You can't look at a Watch again the same. But yes, Pulp Fiction, influential, fantastic cast, great quotes, everything, link stories, yeah. And my number 1, as you probably already most likely guessed, is Reservoir Dogs. Why is Reservoir Dogs number 1? Because I actually like Reservoir Dogs, I think, the best. Because 1, not only is it the movie that started Tarantino off on his path, but it's a movie that, as I said in the review, it's a blueprint for everything that comes forward. If you see a lot of instances between the small setting and like this, everybody in one room, in The Hateful Eight, and the dialogue, the long dialogues at the interesting tables you see in Death Proof, or even in Pulp Fiction, the interesting conversations, everything kind of flows into each one of the films of sorts, and it works out well. The non-linear format first started in Reservoir Dogs, and he took it to everything else pretty much in some way. But yeah, I feel like that's my favorite one. I feel like it's the one I could just put on and just kind of enjoy, stuck in the middle with you. Never's going to look the same. I always grab my ear whenever I hear it. But yes, that is my number 1. And we can give a quick shout-out mention to his segment in 4 Rooms. I thought that was a decent enough job. If you want to give that a shout-out. If anybody's seen 4 Rooms, check it out. It's a decent enough watch. Tim Roth is great in it, as I mentioned before. But check out 4 Rooms. Yes, that is my I was going to say review, but that is my list of the top Tarantino movies. I'm ranking them. What is your ranking? That is my list. Here we go. We got more lists to go. I got the worst movies of 2015 coming up, and it's today. And I also got my shout-out video for everybody who subscribed. That's going to be long, but it's going to be worth it. Let's do this.